Achieving good health for birds at the farm requires operational excellence and attention to detail. A combination of quality nutrition, veterinary guidance, and increased consideration of shed and bird management will help to ensure birds have the best possible chance to perform at their maximum potential. Biosecurity practices throughout layers production, pre, during, and post-placement are crucial to successful poultry production.
Here we are doing poultry farming. Where we are, this is Poultry House 3. This is our youngest flockers so far. We first put them in the brooder for 3 months, from day 1 to 3 months. In the brooder we feed on the chick mass, but for us we make our own feed. We don't buy mash already made feed. In the feed we apply normal additives, feed materials like maize, fish, broken maize bran. Maize is broken maize bran, fish, cotton cake, sunflower. Then some feed additives like methionine, glycine, biotronics. There's very many under chick premix.
Birds must have easy access to feed. Proper feeder line height corresponding to the height of the beds helps to reduce feed wastage and mixing feed with litter. And it ensures that all birds have access to feed. Adequate feed access is also achieved by following the feed line manufacturer's recommendations for the number of birds per feed pan or line of trough feeder.
We do most of the vaccination in the brooder, whereby there is gomboro, IBD. Most of the vaccines are done in the brooder. The beaking is done in the brooder. As you are seeing them, we bring here when we have already beaked. Then after the 3 months, before they start laying, we transfer them to the poultry house, to the laying house. Yeah, this is the laying house. The brooder is a deep litter system. Then we transfer them to the cages after 3 months. The transferring is done manually, using people carry the birds and we put in the cages. Then inside the cages, it is normal system as it is done there. What is mostly done in the cages, it is feeding only. Because water is automatic, it is automated. Water transfers, it is automatic from the tank to the poultry houses. Then what is done mostly with the cages is feeding and collecting of eggs. They started laying at 4 months. That's when we started. We got our first eggs. They keep on increasing gradually. As they grow, the production also increases. The first advantage of the cage system is hygiene. As you can see, the birds are where they are in a very open place. You won't find where you're standing, you won't find that you're stepping in mud, in the droppings which are wet. Meaning the hygiene is well. The droppings, they don't stick on the cages, on the wires. They just drop down to the floor. Whereby the eggs we are getting are also clean. Nothing like any dropping on the egg. The quality is fine. Another thing is the management. In this one house, we are having 5,500 birds, whereby the whole of 5,500 birds are managed by one person. We have one worker taking care of the whole of this house, whereby with the deep litter system, that can't be possible. This is a very big number whereby one person cannot manage. And our vaccination, when we are vaccinating orally, we have the outlet and we have the inlet tanks there. That is where we vaccinate. We put our medicine to flow from the nipples.
You put the medicine in the tanks?
In these ones.
Then it comes through the...
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Many farmers fear that the brooding system, most especially, is the ones which is mostly feared. Farmer says, how will I cope up with from the first day up to the 3 months before they lay? How will I be feeding them? But all goes with proper planning. If you plan properly and you know that from day 1 up to the 3rd month of my birds, if you plan properly, everything is possible.
Actually, most of the information is related to farming, poultry farming. Yes, how to put the drugs, means biosecurity things, okay, and how to increase the productions, how to treat the chickens well and better than ever, and also we can train about better chickens, better cages.
These cages, they were made at carrying a capacity of 3 birds per cage. But when you're here, you just see it is easily to notice that there is safety happening. Whereby when you have put 3 birds in each cage, when you're just moving, you will automatically see that there is 1 bird missing. There are questions arise, where have the bird gone? Meaning it is easy to notice there are cases of safety. You keep on noticing from that particular area to find out which exactly bird is having a problem. Whereby if you know, you remove it and you put it in a different place for medication. That will help you from spreading all over the house, which is not so easy for the deep litter system. For example, in a deep litter system, the bird will go from here today. Then the next evening, after 2 minutes, you will find it in the other place. Meaning you will not know, you found a bird here coughing, where you will not see it. Whereby you will get to know when it has spread the whole house.
Effective biosecurity can aid hygiene, vermin and insect control on farm and also help to limit disease transmission within and between bands.
We have concentrated on systemized this poultry house. So we introduced the advanced technologies and know-how to treat the chickens. So we have got a lot of performances about that, and then now I think it's a time to train this kind of performance to local farmers. It's a bit somehow simple, but we can train and teach the farmers well.
A higher stocking density of poultry in addition to crowded housing conditions has been shown to have a negative impact on performance, causing stress to both the birds and intestinal microbiota.
If they are growing and they have been laying, you will know the production will drop. Meaning production is so called Uganda, some birds are not laying. And another thing where you will know by moving around. Why today you will come and move around, you won't find any egg. Tomorrow the same, the other day the same. Meaning if there are 3 birds and you have been finding 1 egg, meaning there are 2 birds which are not laying. From there you will know. They take enough water. Until they take enough water, the water which those tanks Even though we have put a vaccine in the tank, that tanker is composing 1,000 liters of water. People will ask, how are they? We are not seeing water. How are their birds getting water? Our birds are having water. As you can see that bird, it is taking water.
Drinking water accounts for 70–80% of the bird's daily drinking needs. Poultry generally will consume more water than feed. As a result, water is the most critical nutrient for poultry. An abundance of clean water will reduce challenges and maximize performance. Factors to consider when thinking about water management include quality, height, pressure, mineral content, and accessibility. Flushing water lines between flocks and during production. Elimination of biofilms and mineral buildup.
Then when you put them here, of course they will take some time to know, like 2 days or 1 day. They will take, because in the other brooder they will be in a depleter system whereby they just know that this is water. But when you put them in the cages, they will take like a day to notice that they're drinking water from here. But as you, the person who is working in that house, you'll have to take that responsibility to know that I have to show the bird that the water is coming from here. You move around, placing the finger on the nipples. These are called nipples. To know that to let the birds know that this is where they can access the water from. With 2 to 3 days, all the birds will be knowing that we are getting the water from here. This water is automated. It moves directly from the tank to the flowing pipes. The reason as why the cages we are starting from up, not down, as very many cages outside there are, was to make sure that the droppings down don't affect the birds up, whereby that aeration helps the droppings to dry. And as you can see, our droppings, they can even stay here for a month. They don't distract our birds, they don't do anything bad to our birds. Even the droppings, they are purposeful to the farmers again, because they use them as manure. So if you put the cages in, if the aeration is not enough, to make sure that manure, that droppings are dried for the easy using of the farmers. Because when the farmer takes wet manure, wet droppings, they are toxic to their plants, as they have a lot of acids. Meaning this aeration helps us in the drying of the manure down. The aeration up helps in the atmosphere of how birds to live in. With that aeration, you can see the birds there is no stress. During the heat season, the dry season, there is a lot of heat outside. Meaning if you build your house when it is almost closed everywhere, the aeration won't be enough, meaning the birds will be stressed. Then that stress will cause low production, will cause pecking, will cause death, meaning you'll lose. That is loss of the profit. The reason as why we took this breed, one was they are disease resistant. The secondly was their production is not bad. The production is good, but mostly was disease resistant.
This project called IBS project, that means it's inclusive business solutions associated with Koika, Makerere University, and Jeonbuk National University, and Eaglebet Korea. This project started from 2017. Some programs of construction was delayed because of COVID pandemic, but so far we have performed a lot of things, as you see it, is a behind is a we completed all the constructions in 99%. Is a we have trained more than 100 students is undergraduates in Makerere University, and we trained more than 100 farmers is nearby, and but that's not enough. Okay, is we shall start training from next month, is because is a pandemic is stabilized, and then we can do more performance.
All businesses have problems, have disadvantages, and have advantages. But with patience, everything is possible and everything is achieved. You have to be patient, you have to be consistent, and you have to be with the love of doing what you're doing. Meaning, if you have the love, everything will be able to be achieved. And the proper planning, management, because if the farm is properly managed, there will be very many things won't happen to you, like diseases. If your farm is properly managed, meaning you will manage also the diseases. The disease outbreaks will be minimized, meaning you will be able to go on with the farm.
Lowering stocking and distancing density through the overall production of the birds may help to reduce challenges. Walking the bands routinely will also help to ensure equipment remains in working order. Ensuring strong communication and coordination between all those involved in helping your farm run smoothly will ensure a stronger and more successful gut health management program for your birds.